Hello, my name is Meishaleny David. I'm from Group 73 of Cell 2102, and this is Project 2 of sharing of thoughts based on a video given. So the first question goes, why are some of the views expressed by the people in the video about street art, and how do they feel about street art? Okay, the first person to express her feeling was Zoc, and she feels that street art is so much more than just an art. And there was an issue in the video where they asked whether street arts are better to be placed in a gallery or in street itself. So there's this student named Niklik. According to her, street art only belongs to the street, and which this makes the city or the street much more colorful and vibrant and also different. According to Michael, it is totally fine to place street arts inside a gallery because he is not really a fan of street arts. And there's this guy named John. He says that street arts are great, and it is a tool which colors up the city. According to Jang, street arts are more related to expression of feeling. And moving on to the second question, they asked on the summarize the video content by identifying the main ideas and specific details. Basically, if we see the total content of the video was street art in Melbourne, and how it started, and the transformation of street art since the beginning it came to Melbourne, and how does people perceive street art, and how they perceive, and how do they actually receive street art. And there were a couple of interviews done to public regarding the question whether street arts are supposed to be placed in a gallery or streets itself. And as we see on the supporting details, they said that street art began in Melbourne since 1980s, and it originated from New York. As time goes by, in the late 1980s, it started to attract more international artists to street art, and it is also the heart of tourism for Melbourne. In the video also they explained more on the types of street art, and how many people view on the street art, and these may vary as in the age group. Like they were tourists, they were people from British, they were students as well. So there were a bunch of different views from different people. Moving on to the third question, do you think this type of art has a message, or is it merely a work of art? Explain your view. In my opinion, I think that street arts can be with message and without message. There are certain type of street arts which carry a very deep meaning and portrays a deep thought of the artist. And I do think there are also street arts that conveys very light feeling, and they do not have any message, in my opinion. And if you look at a street art full of words, I think it does not convey any meaning because it's just for a decorative reason. Moving on to the next question. In your opinion, what inspires artists to create such artwork? In my opinion, I think street art is very original, and I think street art only belongs to the brain. Street arts comes from pure imagination and creativity of one, and it can definitely grow with skills and practices. But one artist may have seen a street art before one tries it, but I think generally street art comes, and the quality of the street art comes from the brain itself, comes from the artist itself, comes from how he thinks and how do he express it to the public. Moving on to the last question, what do you think of street art? Does it bring positive or negative impacts to individuals and the society? Support your answers with 3 examples. In my point of view, I think street arts definitely give a positive impact to individual and also community. As we see, firstly, I would like to say that street arts are a form of expression of views or political concerns or personal interests. Street arts can also be a way of interaction between the artist and the public, whereby he can basically draw anything that he wants on a plain wall, and portray whatever he thought and he thinks, and it totally depends on the public how they want to perceive the drawing or the art. My second idea would be that street arts are very cheerful and it also makes the public property much more lively and friendly and much more happening. For an example, a street full of paintings would definitely make the entire place look much better, much lively, and feel more like home. It looks very fun, and it definitely can attract more tourists to one country. Yeah. And my last point would be street arts definitely encourages a generation or a new generation of creative minds and generation with wide thinking capabilities. They would rather have a very open mind rather than a narrow mind. When a child, let's say for an example, right, when a child sees a street full of street arts and colors, this would definitely trigger some sort of an interest within him regarding street arts, and this would definitely make him think of the messages or point of views of the artist, and this would definitely create much more better generation rather than just very plain and white, boring and dull generation. That's all from me. Thank you very much.